Why is it that when a native doctor, a voodoo person in Africa, does some so-called bad and barbaric things, the government, invades his shrines and destroys it? But when a man of God, when a pastor, sleeps with people's wives and does every kind of bad things in the church, we do not invade that church and destroy that church. Why? The havoc Islam has caused, let's say in Africa, is nothing compared to the havoc Christianity has caused in Africa. Now tell me this. When God gave me life, when I was born, what did I give in order for God to give me life? So if I did not give anything for God to give me life, why then should I give something to God for him to bless me? Last night I made a post about truth. Truth number 1. Christianity should be banned in Africa. It wasn't meant for us. And people on the comment section asked me for an explanation. Anyways, I had in mind to explain because I know that a lot of people would not grasp and understand that post. Now guys, if you've noticed on this page, sometimes I make write-ups, and the first write-up I made was about rules, and from rules I diverged into questions, and after questions I started fact. And last night I decided to make my first post about truth. Truth number 1, Christianity should be banned in Africa. It wasn't meant for us. And I know a lot of people, are surprised or are disappointed by this truth and statement. But again, remember that we all have our opinion and we're entitled to them. All right. First of all, I want to explain to you guys that there's difference between truth and fact. So when I write posts on this page, whether it be truth or fact or rule, I know exactly what category they fall under. So the difference between truth and fact is that truth can be doubted. Truth can be denied. Truth can be believable, whereas fact, you cannot deny fact. You cannot doubt fact. You don't have any choice but to agree with fact. All right, so whether you believe fact or not, the only option you have when it comes to fact is to agree with it. And once you have agreed with that fact, you can use it to give your own truth, or you can use that same fact to lie about it. Now, when I talk about truth being believable, you can tell a truth and somebody would have, that choice to believe or disbelieve in your truth. For example, if I meet you on the road and I see you holding your stomach and you tell me, crackhead, I have a stomach ache, that is your truth. And I have the right to doubt your truth because I have not seen that stomach ache. You telling me you have a stomach ache is doubtable. That is not a fact that you have stomach ache. And you might be asking, how is it not a fact when I'm in pains, I'm holding my stomach, and you can see me, being in pains and I'm suffering? How can you tell me that my truth is not the truth, that I do not have stomach ache? Again, it is the truth. Because if you go to the hospital and decide to run a test to see if actually you have a stomach ache, you might discover that you do not have stomach ache. Rather, you have ulcer. So your truth only becomes a fact once we get the doctor's report. Once we see, from your medical report that actually you have ulcer. And then when you tell me you have ulcer, again, it is still not the truth without the fact. All right. So you understand what I mean? So truth can be, doubted, but fact, it's right in front of you. So talking about truth, number 1, Christianity should be banned in Africa. Now, this is not a fact. Why? Because we do not know if Christianity is banned in Africa, if Africa will become the Africa of our forefathers. We do not know that. It's not a fact. Before Christianity came to Africa, we had our own tradition, right? We had our own culture. We had our own way of doing things. I know people are going to say, if not for Christianity, the barbaric things we were practicing in our tradition, in our culture, will still be going on. For example, in my place, Cross River State or Akwa Ibom State, that region, Mary Slessor, that stopped the killing of twins, yes, she came in with Christianity. That was our culture. And so many barbaric cultures we have in Africa that Christianity came to do away with it. But today that we have Christianity, tell me, are there no still kidnappings? Are there no still money-making rituals? Are people still not buying people for the sake of money? So what is the difference? Tell me, what is the difference? If then, in our culture, we're using humans as sacrifice, okay, to appease the gods, all right, not for prosperity, not to be rich, not to be successful, most times because of what we did to get the gods angry. We had to do those sacrifices to appease them. It doesn't matter what form of sacrifices, or maybe in some cultures when they need, rains to pour for the planting season, they make some kinds of sacrifices or the other, just for the land to be fertile, just for there to be rain, so that they can, go into their planting season. But now that we have Christianity, yes, those cultures, those traditions have been abolished. Good one. But what of the bad and evil things that Christianity brought along with it? Even wars before we had Christianity. In churches, people are busy being evil, even in the same church that they were supposed to be good. In fact, Christianity, all right, the purpose of Christianity was to teach us good morals. Morals we never had as a result of our traditional beliefs. But with the good morals that Christianity was supposed to teach us, how is it today? Pastors are busy brainwashing people to give to God, the God they have never seen, for them to be successful. But in the traditional beliefs, in our old ways, was there any way the chief priest told people, if you give to Amadioha, you will be successful. If you give to Ogun, you will be successful. There was nothing like that. Again, if you give, it was to appease the gods, either for what they did for you or for the offense we committed. So, should Christianity be banned in Africa? Well, again, as I said, it's just a truth, my truth, that before Christianity, Africa was better, because with the advent of Christianity, we have seen how people have misused Christianity for their own selfish interest. Such things never occurred when we were still under our different traditional beliefs and cultures. But Christianity has brought about scamming, as in scamming on a religious level. How can somebody come to, testify that after a prophecy, after a prayer, in less than a month, she was able to afford a mansion of 300 million naira? How can somebody, give such a testimony? That could never have happened when we were practicing our traditional religion. It would never have happened. But why is it happening? Again, because of brainwashing of Christianity. Because of the brainwashing, the so-called people who are supposed to make us closer to God, make us feel in order for us to be blessed by God, we need to give. Now tell me this. When God gave me life, when I was born, what did I give in order for God to give me life? So if I did not give anything for God to give me life, why then should I give something to God for Him to bless me? Him giving me life is already a blessing. So you can even say, okay, you didn't give anything, but your parents who are Christians gave. They sowed seed. Maybe they were barren. Maybe they weren't able to have children, but they sowed seed. All right, tell me. The Buddhists in China, what did they sow to God in order for them to have children? Other religion, Islam, Judaism, What kind of seeds do they sow to God in order for them to receive blessings? So again, when I made that statement, Christianity should be banned in Africa, it's because of the brainwashing of our Christian leaders that made me say that statement. Remember, I choose my words carefully. I did not say religion should be banned. I said Christianity, because if we think of it, before Christianity, there was Islam. But the havoc that Islam has caused is nothing compared to the havoc. Sorry, I'm going to take that again. The havoc Islamic religion has caused is nothing compared to the havoc Christianity has caused in Nigeria. I'm going to say that again. The havoc Islam has caused, let's say in Africa, is nothing compared to the havoc Christianity has caused in Africa. Why did I say that? Because before Christianity, we all know that there was, jihad. The Muslim war, the Muslim community, they had this fight. So we shouldn't, when we hear about terrorism by some certain, group of Islamic extremists, we shouldn't say, this, that, yeah, that's why Islamic religion should be banned. No, can't say that, all right? Because in the time of the Crusades, in the time when Christians were busy killing and buying and persecuting the rest of the world, nobody said Christianity should be banned in those parts of the world. So Islamic religion in Africa is not the problem, but the problem is Christianity. You never, see on social media where an imam will come and tell the people, if you sow this to Allah, you are going to be blessed. But we see that a lot going on in our Christian religion. So again, I stand by my truth. Christianity shouldn't have been introduced to Africa. It should be banned. It wasn't meant for us. But if, as a result of Christianity, some of us have changed, some of us have decided to lead good moral lives, then it's a plus. But in general, even if Christianity wasn't in Africa, I think Africa would have been better off without Christianity. It's your boy, the Crackhead. Wish you all a wonderful, I don't forget today again. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Bye for now. And lest I forget, you might be asking, if Christianity wasn't meant for us, how then would we have stopped our barbaric acts, tradition, culture? And I'm going to answer you with this. How then was the slave trade, how was it stopped? First of all, who introduced slavery? Who brought slavery to Africa? It was Christians. Whatever they did in the name of God and the king or the queen. So, you see, while Christianity that came into Africa saved one part, it brought in more havoc and wreckage. And it's the wreckage that is still going on in Africa. And even the same Christianity that is practiced in Africa is not the same Christianity that is practiced in Europe, in America, and in every other part of the world. It's more of scamming here in Africa.